How did you actually start the business? What type of support do you provide to a franchisee? Now, as a franchisor, the franchise business model, how is that different than actually running a location? Last advice for anyone out there that wants to franchise their business that's a little hesitant, what would you tell them? All right, so you want to introduce yourself?
I will. My name is Babz Barnett. My husband, Michael Barnett, and I co-founded a brand called Romp back in 2004.
How did you actually start the business?
We saw a need. We were new parents. I had stopped working for a little while. My full-time job was entertaining our first child. So we went to activity centers, we went to art centers, we went all around town to entertain our child. And when I came home and I said how my experience was, I said, it was great, but if I owned this business, X, Y, and Z. And I would put everything under one roof. And it was like this light bulb went off because Michael at the time was looking for maybe a franchise or a business to get into. And those two ideas kind of collided and we started the journey of opening and creating Romp and Roll.
So now you actually open up your first location. How long from the first location until you actually start to think about franchising?
6 months after we opened our first location, huge success, we opened a second location. So 2 of our own stores. That also was met by a huge outpouring of support from the community. They loved our brand. They loved bringing their kids in. And it was about 3-4 years later, we decided, okay, well, if this has worked so well in the 2 stores that we opened, let's try it. We set up the systems. We built it, actually. My husband came from the marketing world. He built it. It looked like a lot of people walked in and said, oh, is this a franchise? But we started the journey back in 2008. Isn't that a great time back in the recession? But it's still, we opened our first 10 right after that, and we have been on that journey ever since.
A lot of business out there, they have a good business, but they have that fear factor. Maybe I don't want to franchise. Franchises is just for like the big brands out there, the Taco Bells, the McDonald's, the Five Guys, all that. How did you overcome that and realize that's not the case?
I'm going to kind of go on a side tangent here. We were met by such an outpouring of support from the customers, the families that loved us, right? So it came from a place of, well, if we're supporting these families here in our community, we are enriching the lives of the children. We want to do this in other communities. So it came from a point of, we need this in every community that we can to bring that resource to parents, not only for the children to come in and have gym, art, music classes, awesome birthday parties, but also for parents to connect. So that's kind of like an offshoot too, is the parents, they're having children, their best friends might not have children the same age, and they need to connect with other parents for that resource and get out of the house and have adult conversation. We wanted to bring that magical place to other communities. We felt that we were running our 2 stores successfully, and we set up these great systems and processes. We can just train other people to do the same thing.
Now, as a franchise owner, what type of support do you provide to a franchisee?
We have multi-level support. So we've kind of broken it up on our leadership team, where we have someone that really works with the numbers and motivates them to, meet their sales goals. And then we also have the whole curriculum part. So we have a support person that helps with the product, helps with developing the instructors that deliver the product. And then we have a field support person that talks about the operations. So we have a kind of a 3-level support system coming from the leadership team.
Now, as a franchisor, the franchise business model, how is that different than actually running a location?
2 different hats. So sometimes I feel like we have a split personality because we do have 2 corporate stores. There is really managing a different mindset of a team on the store level and having a different motivation and a little bit more hand-holding, a lot of training, a lot of coaching, where the corporate team is a little bit, they have that background, they have the experience. Their self-starters are a little bit more independent. It's really helping to train them to train the owners of the our franchises to do the same with their team. So it's really great that we have the corporate team because we can actually implement what we're training our franchise partners to do.
So even as you're learning and testing, you can now use that and then roll that out, everything you've learning to all the franchisees system-wide and benefit from that as well.
Absolutely. And because we're doing the same thing that they're doing, it's not like we're up here and we're just saying, do this. We're saying, this is what has worked for us for the past 20 years. It's a proven model. We're executing. We're not going to ask ask you to do anything that we're not doing in our own stores.
Last advice for anyone out there that wants to franchise their business that's a little hesitant, what would you tell them?
It's a lot more time that you have to be that mindset. It's going to be a lot more time, a lot more effort, a lot more work than you think it's going to be. And also, one of the things that we have done, especially we're still an emerging brand, even though we've been doing this for 20 years, we're still growing, is you need to have the capital. So we use our corporate stores to fund our franchise company until we get to a certain level. So that was really important, is to make sure you have enough time, enough energy, and enough money, because it's always going to be more of all three of those things than what you think going into it.
How important is it to have the right people to do this with and your surrounding circle?
So we have set core values, a culture that is very nurturing. So everybody in our franchise system meets these core values that are nurturing, they're positive. They have to hit all those core values. You can have all the expertise in the world, but if you don't match our personality and our culture, it's not going to work.
Best of success and congratulations. There are over 4,000 different franchise opportunities out there. To reduce your risk when picking a franchise, we provide you key insights and a great process to match you with the perfect opportunity. To learn more, click the link in our bio to schedule a free consultation today.